I want to talk about Madonna. She has a new album, but we all know that. And she's turning 68 next month. And even though it's been 7 years since her last album, she is coming in louder, stronger, bolder. I have a confession too. Back in the 90s, because of my bone structure, I could throw on lipstick, eyeliner, a wig, and a beret to suggest I was Madonna. And my friend Devin Cass, who is a photographer and a professional impersonator, asked me to pose as his Madonna in a book idea that he had. He was putting together a book that he later called Double Take. It was the art of celebrity makeover. I posed for him as his Madonna, and in exchange, he gave me headshots. That was the trade. Devin also hooked me up and got me booked on the Conan O'Brien show. It was a last minute gig. They wanted to book him as their Madonna for some skit that they had in mind, but it took him too long to get dressed. So he suggested me. And I still get tickled. Tickled is a strong word to think about the weird shit that they had me do on that show. Anyway, the reason I really want to talk about Madonna, she was an icon for women of my generation. Because Madonna was one of the women we got to look up to in the 1900s, not just to admire from a distance. We borrowed her boldness, we tried it on, and we used it to our advantage. And if we were lucky, we carried it into our older age. That's really why I want to talk about her. Because she might be one of the best fucking examples of living her life through the lens of now what? A few years back, she stood up at an award show and said the quiet part out loud. To age, she said, is considered a sin. And clearly, she never bought into it. Not once. Thank God. But that wasn't the only message our generation was absorbing. All you had to do was turn on a TV or flip through some magazine or head to the mall on a Friday night to watch a movie with your besties. And all of those messages were be quieter, be smaller, don't take up too much room, and don't ask for too much. And for fuck's sake, lose weight. So no matter how bold you are, there's still a place inside of you operating off that same messaging, whether you've noticed it or not. So here we have Madonna, and it's 2026, kicking ass and taking names. She has a new sound. Now what? New criticism. Now what? Another decade. Now what? She's been asking herself the same question through every version of her creations, which means she is the common denominator across every single era of her career. Not the songs, not the outfits, her. Now, that just goes to show you what's possible. But here's what I keep coming back to. When I'm not getting what I want in my life, what's the pattern I can actually track? Am I shrinking? Am I being agreeable for the sake of being agreeable because it feels safer? Am I just plain hiding? Am I operating from an outdated system? So, what's your version of what would Madonna do? WWMD. Where do you show up full out? And where do you watch yourself shrink? And what's actually different between those two experiences? Here's what I don't think it means. I don't think she was equally bold at everything, every single day for 68 years. I think she had her own version of easy and hard, same as the rest of us. Things that came second nature with no resistance or no story attached. And things she had to decide over and over again she was allowed to do anyway. So maybe, just maybe, that's the real common denominator. Not that she never shrank, but that she kept sorting the two apart and chose the hard one anyway? What's easy for you? What have you quietly decided is so hard you'd rather hide from it? Because when you put those two side by side, something shifts. It stops looking like two separate problems and starts looking like the same thing, just wearing different permission slips. Go ahead, start today with making a list of what comes easy to you. Click to follow for part 2.